Chapter of Celestial Cultivation, Article 4. Clarity through Detachment, Reaching Far Through Tranquility. By Zufeng. Translation edited by Kinyu. Throughout history, those who achieved purity and transcendence embraced detachment and tranquility as their life's foundation. Zhu Liang, the epitome of wisdom, was moved by Liu Bei's 3 visits to his humble abode and devoted himself entirely, laboring until his death. Yet, he deeply understood the nature of the world and taught his children that without detachment, one cannot establish clear aspirations, and without tranquility, one cannot achieve great distances. I often turn to Kai Zhen Tan, Vegetable Root Discourse, for clarity and renewal. This is not only due to its concise and elegant writing, but also because of its profound wisdom and unique insights into the path of immortality. Reading it dispels confusion and brings clarity. Consider passages such as, N. Simplicity reveals true flavor, the ordinary reveals true brilliance. N. In stillness, the heart reveals truth and illusion. N. Detachment clarifies purpose, indulgence corrupts integrity. N. Transcending the mundane brings true renown, surpassing the ordinary leads to the sacred. N. From filth comes purity, from darkness brightness. N. Wisdom dispels ignorance, a steady nature leads to righteous deeds. N. Attachment clouds the heart, cleverness hinders the Tao. N. Avoid extremes, neither excessive richness nor excessive barrenness. N. Transcend beyond heaven and earth, remain unentangled by fame and fortune. N. To avoid disaster in the visible realm, do not offend the unseen forces. N. Cultivate frugality to maintain integrity, embrace simplicity to preserve authenticity. N. Read works of wisdom, listen to music that reflects true essence. N. Maintain a bright heart, keep thoughts untainted. N. A humble heart comprehends principles, a steadfast heart resists desires. N. Nurture the righteous energy of heaven and earth, and model oneself after the sages of past and present. N. Stillness in motion is true stillness, joy amid suffering is true joy. N. Those who seek the extraordinary lack profound insight, those who walk alone lack steadfast discipline. N. The heart of a noble person is like a sky cleared after the rain. N. What is intense fades quickly, what is subtle endures. Great achievements take time to mature. N. In stillness, one perceives the true realm. In simplicity, one recognizes the original nature. N. When the heart is still, the essence reveals itself. When water is clear, the moon's reflection is bright. N. A heart free from desire remains serene. With a book and a zither, one becomes a celestial being. N. All things are illusions, the wise see beyond them. N. Life is but a fleeting bubble, why struggle over fame and wealth? N. Observe the world with calmness, steal moments of leisure in a busy life. N. Make drifting clouds your companions, and the wind and moon your home. N. The hermit is indifferent to honor or disgrace. The Tao is untouched by the warmth or coldness of the world. N. Attaining the Tao frees one from attachments. Neither agitation nor stillness has any hold. N. Clinging leads to suffering. Liberation leads to immortality. N. Extreme agitation leads to confusion. Extreme stillness leads to clarity. N. Resting among clouds, playing with the moon, detached from the world's dust and turmoil. N. Crudeness cannot compare to elegance. Simplicity surpasses extravagance. N. Reading the I Ching among pine trees, discussing scripture beneath bamboo groves. N. A peaceful heart sees beauty everywhere. N. When one's nature is whole and desires are few, even an ordinary person can become a celestial being. N. All things arise from destiny. Find contentment in every circumstance. I also often read Zhenguang Zion when expanded words of the worthy, deeply admiring the wisdom of ancient Chinese sages. Consider these words. N. Indulgence in greed and attachment is a sea of suffering. The burning desire for profit is a pit of fire. N. When faced with adversity and hardship, trace their origins, and resentment will naturally fade. When contemplating the fleeting nature of fame and wealth, attachment will naturally lessen. N. Living in a humble cottage may limit the senses, but the spirit remains free. Befriending mountain hermits may lack formality, but the intentions are always genuine. N. Ambition is lost in indulgence. Clarity of mind comes from simplicity. N. In the desolate graves of Beimeng, there is no distinction between rich and poor. the floating clouds over Yule witness the changes of past and present. N, even the flesh and blood body is but a fleeting shadow, how much more so the shadows beyond? Even mountains and rivers are but specks of dust, how much more so the dust within dust? N, let the world's path be treacherous, my heart remains at peace. N, if you do no wrong in your daily life, you need not fear a knock at the door in the dead of night. N, in all matters, do not deceive, for the gods watch from just 3 feet above. N, at the moment of thought, restrain the 3 great desires. Only at the end will you preserve a trace of truth. N, treat others without the slightest deceit or concealment. Handle affairs with unwavering calm and composure. N, whether you rush or take your time, the path ahead remains the same. Whether you gain by force or by consent, it all ends in emptiness. N, do not assume that human relationships are always warm like spring, for autumn's chill will surely come. N, the wicked may be feared by others, but not by heaven. The good may be wronged by others, but not by heaven. N, a dragon in shallow water is mocked by shrimp. A tiger on flat land is bullied by dogs. N, autumn insects and spring birds both express the workings of nature. Why indulge in unnecessary sorrow or joy? Old trees and new flowers alike contain the essence of life. Why judge beauty and ugliness? N, greed for the benefits of livestock leads to the loss of one's nature. Taking advantage of others invites the retribution of heaven. N, the bamboo fence and thatched cottage offer a beauty that even the grandest temples cannot match. N, observing movement in stillness and watching others' busyness in leisure brings the joy of transcending the mundane. Finding moments of leisure in busyness and stillness in motion is the art of living. N, do not indulge in excessive joy, for extreme joy leads to sorrow. Do not indulge in excessive desires, for unchecked desires bring disaster. N, be detached in solitude, gentle in company, humble in success, and calm in failure. N, with constant vigilance in thought, one can avoid the arrows of gods and the snares of demons. With a heart untainted by even a speck of dust, one can escape the traps of heaven and earth. N, to toy with others is to lose virtue. To be obsessed with objects is to lose ambition. N, whispers among men are like thunder to heaven. A guilty conscience in the dark is as bright as lightning to the gods. N, do not anxiously pursue wealth and honor, nor fret over poverty and lowliness. N, finding joy in the brilliance of flowers and the clamor of music is but an illusion. Discovering delight in the falling leaves, withered grass, and quiet simplicity is where true meaning lies. Through detachment, one sees people fighting on a snail's horn and debating in a flash of lightning. Fighting for wealth and status is as futile as flies scrambling for blood or ants swarming over carrion, a life of misplaced priorities and short-sightedness. Detachment brings clarity of purpose. Detachment brings clarity, enabling one to see the path, discern the right direction, and envision the distant horizon. Only then can one cultivate immortality. Tranquility is the abode of the divine. Without it, the soul drifts aimlessly, making lasting progress impossible. The allure of sensory pleasures, material gains, and interpersonal conflicts can easily cloud the mind, but with tranquility, no matter how circumstances change, one remains as steady as the sun in a clear sky, dispelling all haze. Only now, at my age, have I come to understand these truths. Looking back, I feel profound regret. Time wasted is irretrievable, and youthful years have flowed away like water. I regret not having followed the path of the greatest creator earlier, for by now, my spiritual achievements would have been complete. All that remains is to treasure every moment and strive with diligence. On the journey of life, the deepest emotions are found in familial and friendly bonds. On the path of cultivation, the most crucial element is finding kindred spirits. Francis Bacon once said, "The lack of true friendship is the most profound and pitiable solitude. Without friendship, the world is but a wilderness." The path of cultivation cannot be walked alone. Those who walk alone lack steadfastness. The more fellow cultivators, the better. A true confidant is rare and precious. Just as detachment clarifies one's purpose, it also refines one's friendships. The friendship of a noble person is like water. The friendship of a petty person is like sweet wine. A noble person remains close through simplicity, while a petty person's affection dissolves with indulgence. Befriending someone solely for their power is mere flattery. Once their influence wanes, the friendship dissolves. Forming friendships through bribery is mutual exploitation. When difficulties arise, the bond crumbles. Idolizing eloquent and talented individuals for self-glorification is vanity. Once their reputation is tarnished, the admiration fades. Forming friendships out of shared misfortune is often a relationship of convenience, a case of bowing under the eaves when one has no choice. Once circumstances change, the bond is hard to sustain. Friendships built on calculated benefits are inherently utilitarian, close when there is profit, distant when the profit is gone, coming when there is gain, and leaving when there is none. As the saying goes, the rich in the mountains have distant relatives, the poor in the city have no visitors. Only through detachment can one form true friendships. Only through detachment can one find a kindred spirit. Clarity through detachment, reaching far through tranquility. Those who walk the path of cultivation must take heed.